So today I want to be talking to you about how flying in bad weather can affect like small aircraft. It's very dangerous. So 10% of aviation-related crashes are caused by bad weather and stuff in small aircraft. Like general examples of that could be flying into a mountain, like because they can't see outside, thunderstorms, stuff like that. But according to FAA, 10% are caused by bad weather. So what is bad weather, you may ask? So bad weather could be, example, icing. So the wings have a certain characteristic to it that it has to generate lift, which causes you to fly. So if there's icing on the plane, like flying in clouds or bad weather and cold temperatures, it can change the characteristic of the wing, causing no lift to be generated. So therefore, you're basically falling out of the sky. So that could be very dangerous. Also, thunderstorms. They might not seem like they're very powerful, but to a small plane and even large planes, they are really powerful. So thunderstorms, they have high winds and hail, obviously, and they have the power to literally rip wings and stuff off of planes. So gotta stay clear of that. The FAA suggests that pilots fly 20 miles away from thunderstorms because hail can be thrown that far of a distance and strike the aircraft, obviously damaging it. So this picture is a Boeing 737. They had to do emergency landing because they flew into a thunderstorm that had a large amount of hail and it caused the windshield. That's a picture of the windshield. It basically caused the whole plane to have dents and stuff around. I know driving in a car and stuff, dents are alright, but in a plane, it's really bad. But so just stay clear of thunderstorms and stuff. On a commercial flight, you might notice that you're in clouds and there's turbulence and stuff. That's because the pilots in the bigger planes, they can normally go into thunderstorms and stuff like that, just not severe thunderstorms. So, but the small aircraft, like the 172s and the small planes like you see them or stuff like that, they're supposed to stay clear. So, why fly into bad weather? You might ask, why does a small airplane want to fly in bad weather? So, flying around storms can take a while. So, most storms are called squall thunderstorm lines. They're a large amount. Just think 30, 40 miles of just a massive cloud layer, like this picture. So, flying around it can take a lot of time. Or you can, flying under it it's really not the best idea because there's downdrafts, updrafts, and all that kind of stuff like that. So, there's some pilots, they don't want to fly around because it takes time and fuel and stuff like that. Or if they have the pressure of passengers and stuff like that, it could play into a factor. So pilots can get an invulnerable feeling, which means you tend to think that nothing bad can happen to you. So, this thunderstorm's not that bad, let me fly into it. Well, you never know. It could be too late for that. And also, another cause is that some planes have weather radar equipped, and the radar tends to have a 5 to 7 minute lag. So it's not like current weather. The radar does its scan and stuff, and what's displayed on the radar is 5 to 7 minutes in the past. So that can have a lag to it. So there's an example. So on a summer day, a Piper Cherokee took off in North Carolina for a 2-hour flight back home. He was going home to see his family. He encountered a thunderstorm after takeoff, and it was large enough that he should have just landed at an alternate airport and waited the storm out. That would have been a good idea. So if he's talking to air traffic control and stuff like that, the air traffic control is trying to help the pilot out, navigate through it, around it, and stuff like that. The pilot did have the onboard radar, but he didn't know that it was a 5 to 7 minute lag. So on the radar, he was looking, there's a storm, he thought he found the gap. Well, so he started turning to the gap, and the gap was actually not there anymore because it already moved on, and there was the head of the thunderstorm. Basically, the wings got ripped off the plane, and spiraled to his death. So it's a bad example, but he should have just, if I was in that situation, I know a lot of other pilots in the situation, they would have just gone to another alternate airport to wait it out and stuff. Personal example for this, on my first cross country, I went to Jefferson City, and there's a thunderstorm that we didn't have any idea about. So we landed at Jefferson City, and we decided just to wait the thing out. We ended up being there for 2 hours, just sitting at the airport, doing a whole lot of nothing, but you never know, it could have saved our lives trying to get out of that and stuff like that. But this guy actually had a bad day and sad ending. But there's a picture of the plane that the investigators took. Obviously the wings and stuff are ripped off, but that was a bad day for him. So basically, more of the story, stay away from there. And that is why 10% of fatal accidents come from flying into bad storms. So I also threw in a funny quote at the end. So a good landing is one that you can walk away from and shove it in yourself at. So and that's my sources.